哦，那857啊，哦，好多数算了。哎，对，我就继续从那个上礼拜五的地方开始。对，就是我刚好打完 BOSS， 上次刚好打完那个最后 BOSS 之后，现在要跟应该是跟他们对话吧，在这。
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight?
哇，那个背景谁在磨刀啊？超吵的。
This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black, black, black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what.
所以她果然是那个将军的女儿，然后被复活之后就跑这样。
I did. Who would trust the next of kin of Ketheric Thorm? But I have no more secrets. It's all out in the open now, and with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing, rest. I'm grateful for your help, your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place to, well, just to be.
呀，原来是这小姐在磨刀，拜托你不要再磨了，拜托你啊，那个。
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
小姐，你不要再磨刀了，超吵的。
The curse is broken and the shadows are lifting. In time, these lands...
还是我要睡觉，还会停止磨刀。趁他没磨刀的时候讲话。
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well and return to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the wicked one. Listen to the subtle vibrations of the Moon Maiden thumping within your heart chambers, friend. She works her magic there. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. Pray, ask, and I will tell.
所以他跟那个伊索贝尔是情侣，前面完全没提到，这边突然跟我说他们是情侣，啥？那是什么？然后他那个爱人的爸爸，然后把他关在里，然后把他关起来啊！这是什么狗血8点档啊？
Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb.
哦，哎呀，然后他妈妈是刚好就是那个赛莲涅女神，就是什么神界的狗血8点档嘛。然后他爱人的爸爸跟他妈妈死对头结盟。
Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
但是他妈不管他哎，小姐，你没有想过你妈妈一直把你放着不管很久吗？100年哎，你妈把你放着不管100年，然后让你一直被关，他没有来找人救你哎。 你没有想到这点吗，小姐
Ketheric Thorm, father of my one and only love, enslaver of Dame Aelin. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me, even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isabel, by her love for me. When she died, curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed. Murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
所以这个应该是整个事情的那个来龙去脉。他老爸了。 他老爸就把他爱人关在那里面，然后一直叫其他人来杀他，然后但是他会一直重生，他就一直反复这个过程是吧？然后成为暗夜法官的过程就是用矛杀死他。
In due time, Mother Seluna will tell me when the time is right. Painful truths should be handled with some decorum. My resplendence honors you. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help. Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the chosen of Bane and Baal. I will do my part to see them laid low. Pray, ask, and I will. Why so mighty up?
好，好像没有其他那个对话。
Looking forward to a bit of rest.
You wanted something? I'm sorry.
所以现在还没有办法，让他跟艾琳女士讲话吗？奇怪。
I never saw myself as a. I was always more of a lurker in, historically. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble, a little reclusive perhaps, but just another of the great, and he has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure. I hope so. But if the citizens...
好像这个对话之前就已经触发过，好像差不多。
Gods be damned. With that parasite in his brain, Father could wreak untold havoc in the Absolute's name. Should Baldur's Gate fall to the Absolute, every one of the coast cities will be ripe for the plucking. We're not just fighting for our cure. We're fighting for my father. We're fighting for the gate. We're fighting for all of Faerun.
对，他爸还是被抓走了，他爸还没救回来，他爸已经被抓走了。
Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur's Gate flow through it. It serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist and their commander, my father. The Absolute's army's on the march. Gods forbid a tadpole Grand Duke throw open the gates for them. Orin, I'd never heard tell of, but Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these Chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like. Yes, but first a question. If your home were under siege, what would you sacrifice to save it? It is. And I did. I was 17. Father, older Ravengard, had just been named a Grand Duke and was called away to Elturel to help settle a dispute. That's when the cult of the dragon made its move.
The cult of the dragon, a fractured religion. Some believers hold that undead dragons will inherit the world. Others worship the dragon goddess Tiamat and intend to summon her to Faerun.
A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill. The Queen of Chaos awakens. Go alone. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single star was shining. There they were, gathered at the foot of the hill.
Your head tingles. Will wants to show you what happened.
所以这个是那个吗？他怎么签契约的经过？是不是？
Groups of 5 figures, each encircle a lofty totem. Atop each totem, a dragon's head is carved, and a massive orb held in its mouth. The cultists chant, first softly, then there is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. The first of Tiamat's 5 heads. As the maelstrom howls, Mizura's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while 2 devils stood witness, and I said yes. 1 soul for 1 city. She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mizura's ever said. All that mattered was that she got her prize. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie. I don't know that it was brave.
对，
I just know that it
简
was
单来说，他
right.
是为了救，
The moment I agreed,
他是为了
I
当时为
burned
了
with the fires
为
of
了救被围
Avernus
攻的城
and
市，
oozed
就
the
用那
rot
个
of
灵魂
Dis.
跟那个米佐拉签契约，然后取得那个能力去那个
The
救这个地方，是
cultists
吧？
choked on our poisons and burned from our flames. And when we were done, all that remained were 5 greyed orbs atop a pile of ash. My soul was bound, and my lips were sealed. It is the one scar I ever bore of it. Mizora replaced it with a sending stone. She uses it to track my location and speak from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world, or the depths of the lower dark, and still never shake her. He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mizora had swept it clean. I showed him my stone eye, but he only turned away. After, he said only one word. Go. So I did.
想要力量吗？然后拿出契约交换来，然后结果变成一条狗，惨。因为那时候他没有，而且好像那时候他没有办法跟他爸解释这件事情，他就被赶走了，惨。
I understand. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst. And Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither. Resentment is a poison on one's heart. The only way to avoid damage is to pour it out. More than you know. The better question is, did he ever miss me? If he did, he missed the Will Ravengard he once knew, not the hell-touched warlock he returned to.
没有变成魔法少女，有啊，她变成魔导士啊，只是没有变魔法少女啊，因为她不是女人，没办法变魔法少女。我也不是女人，没办法变魔法少女啊。
Wish we could stay and see what this place will be like without the shadows. He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city.
把它变成一只狗。不要，我一点都不想看他女装，不要，不要，拜托不要。
So I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just, it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe, and he paid me well. Well enough to move my folks into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zauriel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zauriel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
啊，所以他是被那个哥塔森给卖了是吧？他以前是他以前是哥塔森的士兵，后来被他给卖了。这里的人怎么都这么惨啊
My time is yours.
好，没什么特别的。但是这个小孩怎么还没走啊
I guess I can.
那个，这个不是那个小说，没有那件事，没有，我也不想看，真的不用，我也不想看，真的那个。
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past, being chased by wolves. I told no one about that. Almost no one. But I certainly didn't share that with you.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shah's...
Secrets. Yes, yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
When you freed me, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain. His, inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to two others. Someplace distant. Let me help you remember.
You feel Shadowheart's mind tug at the edges of your own. You know this sensation. She wants you to see whatever is about to be revealed. Your mind joins with Shadowheart's. Something pulls at you both, bringing you elsewhere.
对，这边可以知道我影星子以前发生什么事了，更久以前。那之前被狼公劫记忆是已经看过啊。哦，所以那个不是狼，是他记忆中记错了，他记忆可能被那个杀了他们修改过。
Something sparks in your memory. Teachings about Selûnite rites of passage, about how they would abandon their children out in the wilds and force them to find their way home. It seems that one child never came back. She was taken.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman. One who knows what must be done.
My parents. I need to save them.
I
我
don't
蛮好
know.
奇这一点的，应该
Your
是吧？
parents both followed
这个应该
the
确定应该
moonmaking.
是。
I could sense their faith, even in a brief glimpse of the past. Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair.
所以之后要救他父母
But
是不
be
是？
warned. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. They will all be enemies now. You have been forewarned for what is to come, but not yet forearmed. I was able to retrieve it before it sank too far into Shah's umbral domain. Shah is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough, but I felt it call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shah calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it. You will find it useful. What you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before.
I'll need every advantage, it seems. Thank you.
A debt repaid. You returned my life unto me. Now go and claim your own.
It hurts.
Shah torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
哎，所以就这边就拿到了一个短矛是吗？看一下，那杂物越来越多，超扯。那个短矛在哪？
Still alive, so that's progress.
哦，在这，不是怎么会在主角身上？赛伦涅的祝福。感觉这个挺猛的。好，这个之后再研究要给谁？这个武器挺猛的，之后再研究给谁吧。所以这个隐性的真相果然跟我之前猜一样嘛，他本来是赛伦涅信徒，但是后来就被沙尔信徒带走，然后把他变成那个沙尔信徒那个教育，就把他教育成沙尔信徒。他本来其实是应该是赛伦涅信徒。
I've been lied to. My whole life. And I was gullible enough to just believe it. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. A part that Shah denied to me. Indeed. But the truth may yet prove painful. Who knows what Shah still keeps from me? We'd better press on for now, and hope we're ready when the moment comes. But before that, there's one thing I need to see to. You will see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me. Fine. What's on... How are you holding up?
哎，所以隐形之后，大概是要去哪里救他父母是吧？
Pray, ask.
好，没新对话，没有新对话。
Looking forward to a bit of...
好，没有，所以该闪人了。外面，对我要先去营地外面。啊，等级我之后再调，看要。哇塞，这个尸体还在哦！这个尸体放多久啦？都没人收尸是吧？这个3个哥布林尸体放这里放真久。
Our enemies spread like rub rot. Treat one patch, and 2 more bloom in its place. An elder brain, bound by lost Netherese magic, with servants of the Dead Three holding the chain. Reminds me of old times. Aren't you? When we met, I was licking my wounds. An old bear with her leg caught in the hunter's snare. Now I've slipped free of the trap and rediscovered my claws. It's time for me to hunt my prey. You have a nether stone, and you're on the scent of 2 more. These chosen have reason to fear you, and I would like to be at your side when you confront them. Glad to be there. Falling foul of Ketheric convinced me that my grand adventures were behind me. That even if I survived, I should hang up my blades. But you convinced me
所以假
otherwise.
设他可以加入，
We ventured into
但是
darkness
我
together.
那假设他可
Now
能会
we've
把我
come
放
out
在
the
冷藏
other side.
我可能会把它放在冷冻库
I'd。say I'm feeling a little
我没
refreshed.
怎么研究怎么玩德鲁伊，算了。
When we reach Baldur's Gate, there will be even darker paths to tread. I will follow you wherever they lead.
好吧，
You're
来呀，
amply reinforced already.
人越多越好。
I'll let the new blood do all the running around. For now. With the Absolute's army gone, the Risen Road should be clear. We can follow it all the way to Baldur's Gate. There's a Harper's safe house in Worm's Crossing. Denthalen's Dancing Axe. We do well to check in with them before entering the city proper. Beyond that, our course is yours to set. I can recall how to take orders, as well as give them. If you have business, the road to and the city needs us. You're amply reinforced with the absolutes. There's a harp beyond.
所以之后假希拉有，反正这边假希拉也会加入啦。嗨，见到在城里的线人，之后反正之后假希拉就会加入了。
My mom lives in the lower city. When Duke Elton formed the Flaming Fist, he saw out. You saved Daniel, lifted the curse, and killed an immortal. It's safe to say you'd have been recruited in an instant. They are different to what Duke Elton envisioned. And I can't comment on Duke Ravengard himself. But I've seen the respect he inspires in the Flaming Fist. And that tells me all I need about him as a leader. I hope you can save Duke Ravengard. For the good of Baldur's Gate.
等一下，可以，你可以叫他一起走哦，真假？我觉得现在营地越来越多神奇的人了。
Thank you. But look at me. I am a relic. A glimpse of history barely strong enough to stand on his
他
own
是
two
之前那
feet.
个昏睡100年，然后昏睡100年，然后才
Daniel
刚
should
刚
have
醒来
someone
那
here
个
when
人。
he wakes up. It's the least I can do. I don't think there will be an after. The truth is, the Shadowfell broke something inside me. Something no healer can fix. I don't know how long I have, but because of you, Thaniel is safe. Because of you, I could help him as he helped me. So, thank you, my friend. And know that I have no regrets.
所以他的意思说他可能也活不久了，真惨。哇，这边还有好多 NPC。可疑的声音，哎，可以去找那可疑的声音在哪吗？然后现在主线应该是要继续，应该都要去博德之门了。
You'd make a fine. Thaniel rests well. He's healing very rapidly, now that Oliver has returned to him. I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready. I knew I could put my faith in you. If only we had met sooner.
所以这边任务差不多结束之后，应该可以去下一章。对，那边其实打完那个 BOSS 之后就差不多结束了。
No more than my right hand can absorb my left. Oliver is helping Thaniel to recover. They both lie dormant, like trees awaiting spring. Once the curse is lifted, they can stand as one or as a pair. Whatever they wish, I hope they will remain as a pair. It will be good for them both to have a friend, once I'm gone. Still, I would like to return here someday. See Thaniel and Oliver again. In my meditations, or perhaps in person, if the Oak Father wills it. I hope he does. I have. But perhaps there is more that I want. Anyway, once the curse is lifted, nature can take its course without me. I belong at your side. And I'm glad to be had. Glad to be with you, I mean. Seems your ranks are...
所以这边就加入了是吧？
At least Shadowheart is armed with the truth now. May its keen edge, there's nothing that would give me greater pleasure. No matter. After.
好，好像也没啥新对话。反正现在这边哈尔辛跟那个贾希拉都加入，就这样。不过我应该没空去研究这两个人怎么用。
Looking forward to a bit of rep.
With Jaheira to lead.
Long.
好吧，还有谁？这边还有谁可以对话的？燕泉。
Safely on.
所以现在差不多就去博德之门了，这边好像也没啥新支线了吧？
Althera's writing us a song. A stupid song won't bring Mole back.
哦，那些小孩。
Miss Althera wants to write us a song about you fighting Keth.
他们那个摩尔又被抓走了。
Why yes. Once Althera's done with this song, we will be looking.
对，现在没回来了，就只有那个小孩摩尔跟那个高公爵，我不知道为什么那个摩尔会被他们抓走。那个小孩有什么特殊的地方吗？
That's good. Sorry, I'm just worried about the kids. Maul is still missing, and they haven't taken it too well. 为什么要抓那个小女孩？坏。 Been trying to cheer them up. We're
为什么那群家伙要抓一个小女孩？那感觉那小女孩感觉没啥特别的地方啊。
Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we play together? Yes, I've missed this. If you can't keep up, don't take it to heart.
Mole's gonna come through those doors any moment now.
That was a blast.
就这样，就这样，没有特殊对话是吗？哦。
Back in last light, I was, and then I blinded. Didn't think we'd make it without the old L Rider to lead us, but you did a damn fine job. I would. He didn't have any fight left in him.
Briefest hesitation as Ceres wars with old loyalties and wins.
I looked up to him. We all did. But he let us down when we needed him most. There are less mouths to feed, but we still need supplies for the road. We'll scavenge what we can. Hopefully.
This place is a gold mine.
哦，还可以捡到他们丢的那个零钱，拜托，一次就1块，懒得捡。哎，没有其他支线吗？那个，然后这些都是其他岩泉，那个。哎，这边还有其他人吗？全部人都在下面了，应该是这边现在全部人都在下面啊。 然后这上面都没人了是吧？对，看起来没其他 NPC 了。好吧，那应该是差不多直接进下一个地方了是吧？应该是。哦，还有些商人啊，那个。
Just tell me what you need. Late.
There you are. I was wondering where the devil you'd been. That sounds slimy. Never mind your distasteful predilections. We need to talk about Wulbren. Oh, forget about that. Wulbren and the Iron Hand Gnomes are planning something dreadful in the city. They have rune powder, they have motive. We have to stop them. Because they're a gaggle of vindictive crybabies with no sense of propriety. That is to say, they gabbed about their plans like a geese, and I overheard them. Like a very devious goose. With the sword of justice in one hand and the shield of self-righteousness in the other, we most certainly will.
这个支线是铺很久啦，到最后你会发现那个乌尔布伦要带着他那个铁手帝君去那个什么博德之门做什么坏事，好像做什么坏事之类的吧。
Moonrise has been cleansed.
It'll take time.
有，他们之前好像是说什么反攻计划还是什么的。
I owe you an apology. Barkas and I are another matter. I'm dealing with you right now. I saw you as a means to escape, nothing more. But when the sky lit up, when I followed it here, I knew you were behind it. I apologize for not seeing your true worth.
是吗？你现在知道要跟主角道歉了。
Quite frankly, rude in Last Light. Tough, but fair. And that's precisely why I want you by my side in Baldur's Gate. The Iron Hand Gnomes are going to save the city. And you can be part of it.
You see a column of fire that dominates the sky in a blazing inferno.
他想烧那座城啊！简单来说，他想烧那座城啊！
The plan is what it's always been. To bring the work and innovations of the Iron Hand Gnomes to every corner of the realm. Problem is, Baldur's Gate is sick. Once the pinnacle of greatness, it's eating itself alive to save itself from starving. Find me in the city. And once you see what it's become, you'll know that I, and I alone, can stop it.
你是想用核弹把那座城给烧爆吧？
Scrap of courage you have.
这家伙想用核弹把那座城烧爆吧你？
I'll be seeing you.
然后他那个朋友巴克斯也要阻止他。
I'll be seeing you.
你们不能先好好说话哇！那地上的尸体还没人清啊！地上尸体真多，还没人清。 话说这边有路吗？看一下，看一下。哎，这个，小姐你怎么会跑到上面来？哈哈哈，那个。 这个我之前没来过，不知道有没有什么其他的路还是什么的。没有的话，我大概也差不多要去下一章。哦，这边通到我之前上来的地方是吧？所以这边是通到我之前上来的地方。这游戏地形超复杂。
Not bad. I've had better days. And worse ones.
对啊，打完将军之后，这边应该就没什么特殊任务或支线吧。然后接着就要去下一个，接着就要去下一个地方了，应该是这样。哎，重点是这个吗？之前没找到的地方在这吗？那个。
Seems simple enough. Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above. Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Through a narrow crack in the wall, you hear something shift against stone. The pulse of a crawling, living
原来是要从梁柱过来的，难怪，难怪我一直找不到那个路在哪，超扯的，这个。
quite catch a glimpse, but you recognize this feeling. The same alien presence you felt on the Nautiloid. Your awareness unfolds, expanding through every wall in the tower, every mind. A vast living network extending down into the dark, where something wakes.
Gods, what is it? What now?
It's a trap.
Tendrils snap like iron cords around your wrist. That presence in your mind looms large, closer now. You stop resisting, your arm bending with the movement of the flesh. And suddenly an opening appears. With a soft sucking sound, your hand pulls free. The flesh within the wall retreats.
Well, now that we know what it is, I suggest we leave it well alone.
这啥鬼东西？没有任何意义吗？这啥鬼东西？
The tentacle pulses within the wall.
再伸回去，再伸回去没意义。就是一个奇怪的肉球，没啥意义。好吧，我想想看，接下来的话，剩下的可能都要去那个。 摩尔跟那个都要去那个柏德之门，现在全部大部都要去柏德之门就对了。现在已经要好，差不多可以走了。那个把炸弹往里丢，我一想，但是把炸弹往里丢，应该没有应该什么东西都蹦不出来。
We leave the heart of the Absolute alive, thanks to you. You did well to defeat Ketheric, but Ketheric was only the first to fall. There are many more battles ahead, and they will not be so easily won. You will need allies. You have the makings of a leader. Your actions have already inspired those around you. Halsin's strength and loyalty will bolster you in times of need. But if we are to succeed, we will need others. Good. I am glad to hear that. Baldur's Gate may not know it yet, but its fate is bound to ours.
Seek on its streets those whose purpose aligns with our own, and invite them to our cause.
Together, we will put an end to the Absolute, the Chosen, all.
Like your mind wants you dead.
所以我都不知，所以他是叫主角再叫多一点同伴加入是吗？应该是，再叫主角再叫多一点同伴加入之类的。哎，我要那个落羽术，好，改回来，超麻烦，那个。
If you have the road and the city needs us.
好，差不多了，那差不多可以去下一个地方。这边应该都已经没什么剩下的任务了。哦，听说第3章地图也很大，我要到明年才能打完这游戏吗？地图大到可怕。要对抗教团，找寻盟友之类的。
I swear, I can already feel a change in the air.
You did it. Ketheric Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken. Soon, the land shall heal. It is. But mine is just beginning again. Soon, this will be a place of sunlight and greenery again. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it sees fit. Give it time. A reward shall come to you, when you need it most.
啊，等你最需要的时候会给你一个奖励，但是那个奖励什么时候来不知道。等他觉得需要的时候就会有了，超级暧昧的说明啦。等他觉得你需要的时候，他就会来了。
Gone. Hell yes.
对，这边可以直接走吗？是吗？ 哎，那个军队都不在啊。
The Absolute's army are on the march, and Baldur's Gate is their target.
你也许无法回来了，也许。我确认我应该是在这边的任务应该处理完了吧？
Take the truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart.
Hey, soldier.
Anything I can do for you, consider it.
So, and here I was, worried I'd be the only one with a difficult family reunion waiting in the city. The thing that will decide my fate forevermore. Yes, it's been on my mind. Why? I hadn't really decided on the specifics. Obviously, we could stop the ritual, or not. What? I've obviously thought about it. If I was the one who completed the ritual, I'd have such power. And I could walk in the sun without fear I'd turn into a mind flare. I don't relish it, but my siblings lured thousands of people to their deaths over the years. I doubt Baldur's Gate would miss them. Of course, I don't even know if I could complete the ritual. It may be impossible, but it certainly is tempting.
哇塞，所以那个阿斯泰尔还想说，他可不可以利用这个仪式得到力量之类的？果然是混乱思想。他觉得这个他没有，他说不一定要阻止这个仪式啊，他可以用这个仪式，这变成真正有力量的吸血鬼。他是想要利用这个，他是想要利用这种仪式。好，看来没新对话，也没新剧情了。
Your path leads away from me, I sense.
好了，我直接走好了。因为如果真的错过什么，再读档回来好了。
The curse has been lifted. The land's cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
对，总之就是我终于可以进入下一章了，应该。我现在就只进入下一章了。
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping and yes sir, no sir, rip and cut your throat, sir. Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start.
那个画家直接跑了，吓到。
They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
I itch to peel you, to split your skin, to see your skull shine in the light. Little tyrant. Lucky for you, I harvested a whole family of living flesh in Rivington at high sun. They will sate my blade thirst tonight. Oh, but tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, my blades will thirst again.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
Eh, 他们这么快就到这了，穿过一个地图就到这里了，是吗？ 省略了中间走路的过程哦，直接走一个地图就走到这。
Shadowheart has found a little bit of herself again. Selûne cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? I've passed enough years that counting them is a waste of what remains. Which is to say, yes, I am that old. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I.
所以他曾经做过读心魔的一个意识的集合体是吗？是这个意思吗？小姐经历真丰富啊！
Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in a trap. And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth.
他们一 个晚上就突然走到这，果然场景真的切换了。哎，看一下。这游戏虽然每次那个上一个新地方都会切换营地的样子是不错啦，但是我还要重新找人的位置在哪，会有点麻烦。没新对话，这个。
Shadowheart was no true child of Shah, merely.
Almost pleasant traveling with company. If you ignore...
Copper for your thoughts.
Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she's... What would you like to know? Anytime.
对啊，好像没啥特殊对话，好，先走吧。一定要先睡一觉就对了，反正不管生气21，一定要先睡一觉。
My time is yours.
阿塞伦有惊叹号。
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. We will kill him, but there's more to it. Think about it. It sounds like Cazador, for all his evils, has gotten further than any of my kind ever have. He's on the verge of a miracle. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretched servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better.
这个是什么？赞同他的意思吗？
Look, I appreciate that. I'm very grateful, of course. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador has changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
所以阿塞伦是真的想取代之。他其实没有特别想阻止这个仪式，他反而觉得我可以利用这个仪式让我自己飞升。果然是混乱邪恶，也不是混乱，也不算是邪恶，混乱属性。他当然想的是，不是阻止这个仪式，他非常明显想要利用这个仪式去飞升自己，超狂！果然是那个。
My resplendence on.
好， 这艾琳女士不知道这边干嘛，当个那个在这边在那边当个什么站桩之类的，不知道以后还可不可以当什么队友。好。
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With his help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Will you liberate them from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Right now, your resolve feels firm, but there is no knowing how you will feel when the moment comes. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep.
这个是结局分歧是吗？
Sleep is not for you.
他说的是结局分歧吗？你可以。啊！灵劲爆了！什么鬼？What？哎，超突然的哎，超扯这个。
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
I'm ready.
他们突然就来攻击了，有够快！我还不知道发生什么事的时候，他们就来攻击了。这个家伙是谁啊？怎么突然打过来？怎么突然打过来了？他是夺心魔手下是吗？那个。 要想办法把这些人干掉。超扯的这个。
Won't give in. Need to find a way forward.
Got to concentrate.
The witching hour.
Talk to me.
是怎样啊？差一点点，太扯了吧？就差那么一点点，这个。
Much longer.
Death becomes you.
Come quickly. I can't do this without you.
Swords meet sorcery.
Now this is my happy place. Handy. In position. What now?
Got to keep fighting. Got to move.
Still breathing, despite everything. Very well.
Allow me to demonstrate. Good move.
"早知道我应该用那个，早知道我应该我再用一个转移法术了啊！算应该来得及吧？那个。
More are coming. Hurry, or we will all become thralls.
Good idea, Karlak.
still on my feet.
Unleash me.
It's alibi.
That thing's not going to hold together much longer.
I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
啊，他们又被攻击了。What？ 这是怎样？那个。
No time to dally.
这一切来得太突然了，完全不知道发生什么事情。那个。
No one stopped me yet.
What's next?
At least things have stayed interesting.
You will be cleansed.
这实在来得太突然了。所以是那些鸡饲养鸡人直接打过来了，是不是？是那些鸡饲养鸡人直接打过来了。
Which way to the nearest library?
Friend, you will be cleansed.
For another round.
Come to the skull.
Just a brief respite.
这一切来得太突然，完全不知道发生什么事情。我完全不知道发生什么事情。那个。
I need you now.
我要回一定调整队伍哎，赞，那个。
Quite ready for you.
啊，我本来想要之后，我想先跑剧情，我之后再想看要等。 看那个看那个等级怎么升的啊？算了，先随便选啊。那个之后再重新调整那个。
Help me.
先等我升完级好不好？我本来还没升级，是想说，等我之后有空，我再自己慢慢调。结果他现在不给我时间调整，好随便。那个。2周末我不会实况啊！你等一下，等我升级完好吗？那个。
I can't hold them off much longer.
Never a dull moment.
这极致阳极人就突然攻进来了是吧？我本来想说事情怎么发生这么快，我还没来得及反应啊！事情也发生太快了吧？哦，都反啊！事情发生的有够快 ，what？
It's not over. Come to the skull.
A mind flayer.
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you.
哦，他就是那个梦境访客哦，他一直装作那个人类的样子是吧？
I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. saved a child from a viper back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Asima Night Song from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackheath's wrath upon you.
原来那个梦见访客就是君主吗？
Continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all.
然后他前面一直装作那个样子，是为了是为了想要取得主角信任，是不是？
Despite your best attempts to be subtle, the mind fled.
You must be joking. But if you insist on taking a look for yourself, be my guest. Together, we can turn the tide.
让他把祭祀羊竟然关起来。这个情况来得太突然了，你要怎么选啊？这个。哦，原来灰心王子在这，原来恶普是在这里。难怪那个女王想要把这个灵镜拿回来，因为恶普是在这里面是吧？什么鬼？这个。
This'll help.
Destroy the Honor Guard.
Mistra Rill.
Let's finish this.
Onward. Where do I go from here? At the ready.
I speak, they burn. May it please, Mistra.
太夸张了！我到底发生什么事情？太夸张，那个。啊，丢错，给，没差，那个。人类定身术真好用啊！那个。
So much for peace.
哎，他们定住是不是？这个。
Another step forward.
No gloom, all doom.
我这边过不去啊，我过不去。那个。
Time to push my luck again.
My faith will protect me. On I go.
I must regain control over the Githyanki prince.
Gag of your bedeviled stench.
I am not your enemy. The Githyanki are.
What path lies before me?
"超扯的，所以那个梦境课一直是另外一个夺心魔就对了。然后那个其实，然后那个彗星王子是用来抵御那个洗脑控制的那个来源是吧？
Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer. Yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now.
所以他原本只是个普通人是吧？只是个普通的冒险者。
The Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work.
然后他就一直吸坏人的脑子就对了。
I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Vlaakith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Vlaakith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Vlaakith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day
这算是个爆点吧，所以那个彗星王子一直被囚禁在那个灵境里面，然后主角是依靠他的力量才没有办法，才不会变成夺心魔啊。
No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prism was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion. A pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I appreciate that, but this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel, but the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic, and that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You too should embrace this change.
不过实在不想要变成他那样。
Like it or not, our chances of defeating the Elder Brain are substantially improved if you embrace your latent.
所以他之前会怂恿主角要吸那只蝌蚪，是因为才可以像他那样激发自己的能力，是吧？
While continuing to preserve your independence.
不过我主角一直都没吃
You
就
have
是。
seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. I understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced
我那个主角一点蝌蚪都没吃过一次。不过，如果是之后想进化的话，是随时都可以进化是吧？我是完全不想脑子里变成一个虫。
Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain, and bring it under our control.
哦，我觉得他这个家伙可能某方面是想要利用那个力量。超级突然的 ，What 控制主脑，掌控数千国度，摧毁主脑，耐色脑。哦，现在变成2种选项，一个是控制它，就可以统治世界，然后另外一个是摧毁这个脑。然后接下来就是要想办法去拿这两个耐色石啊。这个力量我倒是没有特别想用，就是这个。
Not now.
超突然的啦。
Perfectly delightful. I can't talk right now.
Not now. 所以那个彗星王子一直被关在这里面啊，真惨。然后主角抵抗的力量，都是来自于他就对了。
Consider using the tadpole.
然后那个梦境人其实是那个。其实是一只夺心魔，他一直伪装成那个玩家选定的外表，然后去欺骗主角，也是算欺骗吗？难怪他会一直叫主角吸虫子，因为他本身就是个夺心魔了，而且他已经进化过一遍了。这个剧情发展超突然的 ，What？ 所以这些战士都是他嘛，是吧？这些战士原本都是他的那个手下，就对了，就是那个西风王子，就是那个彗星王子的手下。啊，都没那个，啊，打完一架睡觉，转身去睡，在尸体旁边睡觉 ，Oh my god！ 超破还沾了血，那个。大家那个惊吓可不轻，大家都受到不小惊吓。哎，好吧，先这样好了，我后天再继续。第3章开始那一连串的爆点了是吗？那个，我后天再从这边开始好了。对，就从这个营地开始。那今天就谢谢大家，我后天直接从这个营地开始，然后再跑下一段剧情这样子。那今天谢谢大家，我就今天玩到这。对啊，谢谢大家，拜拜。